Hello guys, welcome back to the channel for another video. As promised, I am breaking out the Ecotech Outdoors Hybern8 for you guys. I've slept with it 2 nights in a row, and temperatures in the mid-20s. And there's a lot of guys that ask all the time, is it good for side sleeping? Yes. Even on the ground, it's really good for side sleeping. Now this pad is kind of heavy, 24.5 ounces, so 695 grams. That's a considerable amount of weight. But being as how it is a 4-season pad, and I've used it in below freezing temperatures twice now, it does really good. Has an R value of approximately 4.5, so that kind of R value is actually to me really worth the wait, because I'm not counting grams. If I go out for an overnighter and carry basically a day pack with me for an overnight, I'm carrying very little anyway. My entire pack probably doesn't weigh 10 pounds. Okay, that's not counting my Coleman 0-degree bag that you guys seen in previous videos, but my entire pack, not even 10 pounds. So not exactly ultra light, but plenty light enough for me. I'm a big guy, I can handle a heavy pack. You know, I served in the United States Army, and those packs were a hell of a lot heavier than what I'm carrying here. So anyway, we're going to take it out and get a look at it. Anyway, dimensions, let's see. 74 inches long, 22 inches wide, only 2.5 inches thick, but still has an R value of 4.5. That is impressive. And it really comes into its own in cold weather. I will tell you, it is advertised to be a 4-season pad. It's a little bit warm if you try to sleep on it in any kind of warm environment, such as, I mean, me sleeping out here doing some hammock sleeping in June, things like that, using this as a ground pad on the ground. It is very efficient at reflecting body heat back to you. So even though it is said to be a 4-season pad, it is a little bit on the warm side to lay on top of it in summer months. That being said, we'll get it out of the pack. We'll take a look at it here. Woven polyester bag. What this bag is made out of is the same thing that your sleep surface on this pad is made out of. Okay? So as you can see, the pad itself is woven polyester. Very large pad. 74 inches. I'm only 68 inches tall, so it's more than adequate for me. 22 inches wide at the widest point across the chest, right where your shoulders are. It does have a quick release valve on it. I like that. You just press this in, it deflates itself in seconds. You can roll it up, put it right away. What I can tell you about packing the thing away is once you get it broke down, we pull the plug, get it folded up and roll it up, you end up with more bag than you have pad. It is not at all hard to get this put away, back into this sack, and be ready to go. Another huge bonus. Okay, we're going to get this thing aired up and we'll show it to you. Alright, as far as how hard or easy it is to blow up, it's listed to take approximately 12 or so breaths to blow this thing up. I have good lung capacity though. I used to smoke, but years and years ago, and I've worked on lung capacity since then, and it takes me 9 breaths. So if you're relatively healthy, 8 or 9, it's going to get you there. Now they have patented cell technology in this, which makes it good for cold weather, optimal for cold weather, and helps to isolate each cell. And that is that when you inflate this pad fully, these cells restrict and self-isolate once they get completely full. And that's so that as you're laying on this pad, tossing and turning, warm air in the cells under you doesn't end up out on the edges, and the cold air from the edges intermixes with the warm air here, and you basically redistribute the air. That's kind of the downfall to inflatable sleep pads with cold weather, because the air immediately under you is going to be warm. So every time you move and you shift, you just cause air currents inside the pad, and the cold air from the outside mixes with the warm air in the middle, and you get dramatically colder. This technology that they are using to isolate individual cells prevents that from happening. So even if you roll, you toss and turn, you go from a back sleep to a side sleep position, the pad stays warm. It's also very, very good at keeping your body heat reflected back up to you, but cold from the ground, from this side, away. Because of the way these cells isolate, this pad excels at making that happen. So it is a very, very good quality pad. And even though it is only, as you can see, 2.5 inches thickness overall, side sleep, no problem. Your hip bones do not end up digging into the ground. The cells support your body very well. Your pelvic bone isn't grinding into the dust or anything like that. You can side sleep, you can stomach sleep, you can do anything you want to do. You can sleep on it just like you do your bed and your own house. All right, stick with me. We're going to get this thing out here. Might just lay it out on the ground. We'll get a look at it. This pad is really, really good in a hammock for hammock sleeping. It's very, very efficient at keeping my body heat up here, so I'm not losing it due to convection from air currents traveling underneath me. North is that way. Cold air is always moving this way, blowing right underneath the pad, and it would just suck the life out of me. I would be hypothermic in no time without an underquilt, were it not for this pad. And this pad is extremely, extremely efficient at keeping my body heat where it needs to be inside me, not being leached out into the air as the wind currents pass underneath. So Ecotech, you guys did a fantastic job with this pad. I'm very impressed. All right. By the way, guys, as usual, there's going to be a link to this item in the description of the video. Those of you who are already subscribed to the channel, you're going to know this already. But if you're new to the channel, you've not watched any videos before, anything I do an actual review on, you're going to have a link in the description. So you can go down to that link and you will be able to find this pad on Amazon.com. Now, one thing I was pleasantly surprised, I looked this pad up just today, matter of fact, probably 30 minutes or so ago. When I bought this pad in June, it had a price point of about 60 bucks. And I thought, you know what? That's pretty damn good, because this is a nice, solid piece of kit. I like it. I enjoy it. It's working well for me. And then today I go back and I look, because I wanted to get the link to supply for you guys in the description of the video. And it said, this item is sold out. We don't know if or when we will ever get any back. And I was kind of like, man, that sucks. That's kind of a bummer. But then I look up top, and they do still have it. That link, for some reason, is dead, but they are offering it now for $39.95. I don't know if it had something to do with Black Friday. I don't know if it's because of the holidays coming up. But yeah, for a price point of less than $40 now, you get a pretty good sleep pad. Like I said, I've got this thing up under the perimeter shelter right now. I generally just sleep on this bed of wheat straw and alfalfa and local plants, stuff like that I've got under here. I normally don't even use a pad, but for demonstration purposes, I do have the Ecotech under here. Oh. It is a very comfortable pad, and it is more long, it's more than long enough for my 5'8" frame. It's very comfortable. It has good support. It doesn't matter if I roll over on my side. I side sleep a lot. And like I said, even if this was on the ground on a hard surface, it's not like my hip bones dig into the earth or anything like that. This, because of the way the cells isolate, you do not hit the ground. They do not crush, and you don't end up with your hip bone digging into solid back dirt, anything like that. So it does excel at weight distribution as well as isolation, so you can prevent conduction and convection. Now, this pad is made for more than just the ground. It is perfect to use in your hammock to prevent convection currents underneath your hammock and around your hammock from getting up to you. It's like I told my son, he wanted to come out here and he wanted to hammock sleep. They stayed over Thanksgiving night, and I told him, said, it doesn't matter if you have the best blanket in the world on top of you, if you don't have a good underquilt or something in your hammock to prevent the cold air from chilling you from underneath, from convection, said you're going to suffer. It's going to be miserable. This does solve that problem. No underquilt necessary. This pad is very, very good for hammock sleeping. I have hammock slept with this pad 2 nights in a row in high 20s. Now, what I did in order to keep my sleep test as fair as possible, I had the sleep pad. I started out in the hammock, and I stayed in the hammock for an hour and a half to 2 hours, because if I did not get chilled due to convection through this pad in 2 hours, I wasn't going to get to all night. After that, I moved to the deer blind, laid the pad directly on the ground, and stayed there for another couple of hours. Tossed and turned on my side, because you know the ground is hard. It's hard packed, because I spend a lot of time out here. I walk on that constantly. It's as hard packed as a concrete floor right now, and this pad really surprised me how well I was still able to side sleep in complete comfort. Okay, let me reiterate that. I was able to side sleep with this pad in complete comfort. The ground is frozen, 4.5 R value. I was not cold. My Coleman sleeping bag, I tell you what, I can sleep like a baby with this sleep system. My Coleman North Rim 0 degree bag, and this price point of about $40 for both. So for 80 bucks, I've got a pretty good sleep system that's going to get me down to plus or minus 0 degrees Fahrenheit if I do everything correctly. Okay, I'll say that again, if I do everything correctly. If you have a miserable night on this pad or with that sleeping bag, you're doing something wrong, and you need to ask yourself why, because they perform very well. Okay, so not a bad pad at all. I have had it since June. I will tell you this, hot weather, this thing is so efficient with keeping your body heat where it needs to be. It's actually a little rough sleeping on this in hot weather, because it does reflect your body heat back up to you. Hammock camping in summer, I would not want to have this under me for very long unless the night was going to cool substantially down, because you will get hot. So, does work really, really well for winter. Summertime, yes and no. It depends on a lot of factors. Okay, anyway, thanks a lot, guys, for watching the video. Don't forget, if you haven't yet, you'd like to subscribe to the channel, reach over there and hit that subscription button. Questions, comments, drop those down below. Don't forget, there is a link to this item in the description, and it is now $39.95 versus the $60 that it was back in June. So the price has come down dramatically. That's going to make it a really good buy and a perfect Christmas gift. And don't forget, if you subscribe, you can reach over there and ding that notification bell if you want to be notified when I upload future videos. I thank you guys very, very much for your views and for your support, and I will get another video out to you as soon as I can. I love this pad, guys. I love it. All right. Thanks for watching.